Let's get into some things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button if you are new here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be expected, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about y'all. Basically, that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up, you guys? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Some of you, this is our second time seeing each other today. For those of you, it's the first. So happy Monday to everyone. Come on. Let me say hi to the people. Okay. Tan, Corey, what's going on? Hey, Ronnie, what's going on? Amber, lovely Nola, hey boo. DB, what's up, Nene? KDK, Chanel, Auntie Eva, Alexis, Brandon, Rock Chick, Quake, hey Shelly girl, Lock Queen, hey Rye, Jazz Poetress, lovely Nola 31, what's up, Cheryl? Nubian Mahogany, what's going on? No, I'm a little late today. Hey, Just Sweet, hey Chuck, what's up, Lauren? Below, hey Nubian, Drinks with D, hey boo, it's your birthday, y'all know what to do. Everybody drop some drinks in the chat. You turning 29, you so young. You are so young. Well, happy birthday, boo. Y'all make sure everybody, y'all drop them birthdays in the chat, the emojis, the cakes, and all the things. What's up, Cross Country Cruiser? Hey, friend. Mia, what's going on? See Golden. Hey. So I think that's everybody. If I miss you, charge it to my head and not my heart. Let's get into some things. What's up, Miss Cookie? So you guys know that the Whether You Like It or Not panel will be tonight on Scotty's channel at 8:30-ish. I'm sure we're going to talk about the mid-season trailer for the Real Housewives of Potomac. We might probably talk a little BravoCon. Definitely we'll be talking about the Grand Zom. We will definitely be talking about the Grand Zom. Okay. Matter of fact, let me pull my candle out so I can light the candle on y'all tonight. Let me light that candle on y'all tonight. Let me say something. We're gonna get to the church announcements in a second, but let me say something about Karen. I saw somebody leave a comment on social media under one of the posts about Karen and her being at BravoCon, and you know how she got such a warm welcome. And the person was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that we are celebrating this. This is a horrible, horrible woman. She had 4 DUIs. She did a horrible, horrible thing. And why are we celebrating her? Let me say something. This is what we have to do in this country. We really have to make up our mind in this country. Are we a country where our criminal system is about rehabilitation? Or are we a country where our criminal system is just punitive and that's it and that's all? Do we believe that people can be rehabilitated and they can be better people? Or do we just feel like once you make a mistake, that's it, that's all? And I know somebody's going to say, well, she made 4 mistakes. She did. She had multiple DUIs. She has an addiction. She's an alcoholic. Now, whether she was ready to accept that she was an alcoholic, I don't know. But that's what she is. So yes, she got drunk repeatedly and drank repeatedly because she didn't realize or accept that she had a problem. I'm going to say she didn't realize. She didn't accept it. And I know a lot of people could say, well, she had money. All she had to do was just get a driver. You're absolutely correct. She did. But at the end of the day, she was convicted. She served her time. She didn't break out of jail early. She served her time and she came home. So is she supposed to just sit in her house and become a hermit and never, ever, ever, ever again come out in public? And are people not supposed to be happy to see her and happy to see that she did what she did and she's back outside and that she's working and earning a paycheck. Because let's be clear, that's what BravoCon was. It's a paycheck. All of them women got men, whoever, all of them got paid to be there. It's a paycheck. Okay. So, and I know that y'all are like, well, you like the grant. I do, but I have always given grace when people have served their time. Now, let's be clear. We can pick and choose who we choose. We can decide who we choose to care about. Let's be clear. But I remember having this argument with, matter of fact, I ended up blocking this child because later on I found out she was MAGA, and that was another thing. But no, actually I blocked her because of this. But I remember when Michael Vick was released from jail and he became that, and the Philadelphia Eagles picked him up as their quarterback. And I went to high school with her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, he's a criminal. He should never ever be. I can't believe that somebody would hire him." And we were like, but he served his time. Like, yes, what he did was horrible. It was a horrible thing that he did. Yes. But he served his time. He went to jail. He didn't get out. Like, he didn't get off. He didn't run away. He didn't hide to Mexico. He served his time. So, and all he's ever known is football. So is he not supposed to have an opportunity to get out of jail and make some money to pay off his bills and take care of his family? Like, what do we want him to do? Go be a janitor? And there's no disrespect to janitors, but I'm saying, what do we want that man to go do? And I just feel like it just pisses me off sometimes because I'm like, well, damn, what y'all want that woman to do? Like, right. I didn't see nobody having a problem with Shannon Bedore showing up or Teresa Giudice. I mean, again, it is what it is. But anyway. Baby, people are still trying to hold him to the fire. When Norfolk State announced they were hiring him, you should see. I think you mean to say you should have. The people so mad, and I said, "Have you given money to Norfolk State?" Right? You know. And again, don't get me wrong. Now there are some crimes that I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't rock with you, but I still feel like people have a right to get out of jail. If our system is supposed to be a rehabilitated system. I mean, if this is supposed to be a system of rehabilitation, then we have to believe that people can be redeemed and people can be rehabilitated. That's just my opinion. I mean, again, it is what it is, child. It is what it is. Moving right along. Right. Shannon ran into a whole house. Didn't she run into somebody's house? Shannon Bedore, didn't she run into somebody's house? You saw it too, Tam? Yeah. With her dog, and they didn't say a word. Right. Like that. Nobody said nothing else about you. Shannon, we didn't hear nothing else about that. But anyway, child, moving right along. Okay. Right, brown mama. Only for the other people. I had a huge problem with Teresa and now Vicky coming back, and Shannon never set her privileged ass in jail for property damage. Right. Right. And they were all at the right, they were in the promos and everything else for BravoCon. Child, go sit. Yeah. And when I say y'all know who I'm talking to. Go take several seats. Moving right along. And she's still drinking. I'm sure. All right, so let's get into the church announcement. So first of all, the cruise. You guys know we have less than 2 weeks to pay the cruise off. If you are going on that ship with us and you made your deposit, you only have until, I believe it's November the 23rd to pay the cruise in full. So please make sure that you have done the things that you need to do to make sure that all of that is handled. Okay? That's number one. Number two, your t-shirts. Make sure that if you are interested in getting a t-shirt for the cruise, that you email spillaboy@gmail.com. The t-shirts are $30. Email him your address, your size, all that good stuff, and you can cash app him the money. I believe we're going to cut that off. I want to say we're going to cut that off January the 15th. That gives a month. Do we have our packages for the cruise paid for as well? Huh? Do we have to have our pack? No. You mean like, no, no. Those don't have to be paid off until, You can pay that stuff off until like 2 days before the cruise. They shut down. So like the drink package, the internet, spa packages, excursions, all that stuff you can pay up until like the week. I want to say like our cruise leaves on a Friday. I want to say they shut everything down like that Wednesday. After that Wednesday, it's shut down until you get on the cruise. Now you can still buy that stuff once you get on the cruise, but it's gonna be regular price. They're gonna hit you over the head. Like the drink package is gonna be like ridiculous. I don't even want to make up a number, but it's gonna be like full price. Same thing with the internet, same thing with everything else. So yeah, you can pay all of that stuff, you can pay up until like a week before the cruise. And they're going to probably run a last minute sale like that weekend before the cruise will probably be the last hurrah where you can, if you didn't catch any of the other sales. But it's not going to be as much as like it's not going to be the 55%. It'll be like 20%, 25% or something like that. Yeah. So those are the announcements as far as the cruise is concerned. So let me give you guys an update on the Thanksgiving baskets, and then we're going to get into and y'all know the weather. I think I said that already. The Whether You Like It or Not panel is tonight at I did. That's how I started talking about BravoCon. Okay. So 10 baskets have already been ordered and some baskets have already been delivered. If you guys were on my Love and Marriage Huntsville live, you heard me literally have to answer the phone for Instacart because they couldn't find an address. And the person that had actually sent me the name for their neighbor was in the chat and actually went outside to help the Instacart driver find her neighbor's address to deliver their package. So that was great to see that in real time. And I've gotten notifications. I told you guys that I was going to start ordering the Thanksgiving baskets on Sunday, which I did. So I ordered a few of them I ordered 5 last night for them to be delivered today. I believe 3, I know for certain 3 have been delivered already. I think all 5 have, but I know for certain 3 have. And when I got off my live earlier today, I ordered 5 more baskets. So 10 baskets have been ordered. Okay. Now, with that being said, though, and you live and you learn, this is my first time doing something like this. So trust me, if I ever do this again, adjustments will definitely be made. But I am still taking donations. And here's why. Because I know y'all gonna be like, well, Really B, you said you weren't taking any more donations. I wasn't. But here's why. 1, y'all showed up and showed out with sending me people's names. And I don't have no issue with that because that's what I told y'all to do. But as I'm ordering the baskets, that $25 was a pipe dream. Okay. I know it looked good when we went to Amazon, and even Walmart had like these $25 Thanksgiving meals and stuff like that. It was a pipe dream. And let me tell you why. Depending on what part of the country people live in, the prices vary. Also, depending on how I'm having the baskets delivered, the delivery fees vary. I've found that Instacart has been my best bet because once I put the address in, then I can just find out what the closest grocery store is to that person. The only problem is not all of the grocery stores have those boneless turkey breasts that Walmart was selling for like, I think they were like $12 or $11. Not everybody has those. So again, let me give y'all an example. I was ordering one earlier today that was to a person in California. So the grocery store that I was going to go through Instacart, all they had was regular turkeys. So I was like, well, that's not going to work because, we know how much a regular turkey costs, right? So, then I had to go and find. Anyway, it is a lot of work, y'all, and I'm not complaining. I am not complaining about the work. I'm going to do what I do. I'm gonna make it do what it do. But I just want you to know that That's the reason why I said, and I'm not, and listen, people, y'all gave, let's be clear, y'all gave, okay? Y'all definitely gave. And I will make sure that everybody gets, everybody that you guys, every name that you guys sent me, I will make sure they get a Thanksgiving dinner. Even if I have, I'll make sure I'm gonna make it happen. But that is why. So people are saying, well, why she said she wasn't taking that's why. Because the ranges, I think the cheapest, I wrote, and I'm keeping track of it. I'm writing it down as I do it. The cheapest basket that I have ordered so far was $28. The most expensive basket I have ordered so far was $50. So again, I'm making it work, y'all. I'm grocery shopping. I'm bargain shopping. I'm looking for the best deals and still making sure that people get a full meal. We agreed that it was going to be bread, a case of water, a dessert, a starch, a vegetable, and a turkey. And that is what all of them have been. All of them have included that. I think the Walmart ones, a couple of the Walmarts have the prepackaged meals. Those are the ones that are getting the best deal because they're getting stuffing and something else. So some people actually got stuffing. So yeah, I just want to let y'all know that that's what that's about. And again, if you have it to give, great. If you don't, that's great too. But because I just don't want people to be, y'all know I'm very nervous about dealing with people's money. I want y'all to be very clear on what's going on with the money and be very clear on what's happening. So that's why I'm saying that. But again, 10 dinners have already been ordered. I've already gotten emails from people saying, I got it, thank you, or my neighbor got it, thank you, or that kind of thing. So there, and if I have time tonight, I'm gonna order some more. I'm gonna try to get them all. Well, I'm going to get them all done by Friday, but I'm just trying to do a few every day so that I don't overwhelm myself because it is time consuming. It is time consuming. So, and of course, when you go through any delivery service, is going to be a tip. So I've been tipping the people, that kind of thing. Okay. So that's what it is. And again, people have already started getting their delivery. So again, ain't nobody playing. Ain't nobody playing. ReallyB is more transparent than the tribe, but with the tribe's money than the government. Listen, because look, when y'all give me money, it's my money. But this ain't my money. And I want to make sure that y'all understand and y'all know everything that's happening every step of the way with everything that's going on. Because you guys are giving what you have to be a blessing to somebody else. And I want to make sure y'all know that it is a blessing and that you guys are blessing people. Somebody already said, let the tribe know. Thank you so much. They got their dinner today, Thank you, Miss Carter. And I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Sorry, y'all. This chair is comfortable. It's very comfortable. Sometimes it's a little too comfortable. Okay. You've been very transparent. We're not worried you're going to run off with the money like the bishop. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. So, yeah. So, there's that. Okay. So, that's the update. Right. Not the bishop. Y'all are the bishop. All right. With that being said, let's go. So, that's what that's about. Oh, Lord. Anyway. Okay. So let's get into what's going on, you guys. Oh, shoot. That's what I picked up my phone. Let's get into it. So let's go through. We both running late. Tracy, child. It's all good. Y'all come on in. Oh, is it time to close the doors? It's 106. I was going to say 169. It's 199 of y'all in the room. If y'all could please. Don is here now.
I said close them doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
So again, you guys, it is time to close the doors. If you can, please hit that like button. There's 200 of y'all in here. Can we get to 150 likes, please? I'll shut up. And once we get to 150 likes, I won't ask for no more likes, okay? And again, if you want to make a monetary donation to the platform, it will be going towards the Thanksgiving baskets. You may do that at my Cash App, my PayPal, or my Zelle. It is all pinned at the top of the chat. It's all of that information is pinned at the top of the chat. All right, let's go. Now, I don't know. I don't have any more details at this time. I'm sure we'll get more details as we continue to move on. But as of right now, they said that Portia Williams is on FBI's radar after a Delta flight incident. She was coming back from BravoCon last night. Let me read y'all what I have. It says reality star Portia Williams is reportedly under federal review following an incident on a Delta Airlines flight. Details are still emerging, but TMZ has obtained information from multiple sources about the situation. The event occurred on Sunday night, November the 16th, on a flight from Las Vegas to Atlanta. Footage obtained by TMZ shows Williams walking off the gate wearing a fur coat and Uggs, appearing calm and unbothered. A spokesperson for FBI Atlanta told TMZ that the agency is aware of the incident and is reviewing whether any federal charges may apply, stating, quote, FBI Atlanta is aware of the incident on a Delta flight on November 16th, allegedly involving Portia Williams and or at least one other person. We are sorry, I hit the button. We are looking to see whether any federal charges may or may not apply. According to TMZ, Delta Airlines confirmed that 2 passengers on that flight were spoken to by the cabin crew, and the flight continued to Atlanta, landing without any further incident. Law enforcement met the plane upon arrival. Williams has spent the weekend in Las Vegas attending BravoCon. So there's footage of her getting off the flight being escorted by a police officer with another person. So we don't know what the incident was. They didn't give us any more details. They just said an incident and the FBI is reviewing it. Understand though, you guys, the air is federal space. It's going to be the FBI. The airport is federal property. I don't know what, like, people need to, like, when you see these videos on TikTok and stuff of these people crashing out at the airport, you are not on state land. You are on federal property when you are at an airport. That is federal. So when you're in the air, it is federal. So I don't know what she did or didn't do or was alleged to have happened. I don't have any further details at this time. I'm sure as soon as TMZ know, they're going to let us know. But as of right now, I don't know anything more than what I just read you guys. But yeah. Were they loud and drunk or arguing? Yeah. You would be better off acting up in front of the police station than act up on the airport. Exactly. Because again, and it doesn't sound like this would raise to the occasion of her getting, on the no-fly list or anything like that. Because I feel like if it was that serious, she'd have came out of there in handcuffs. But maybe she got into a verbal argument with somebody. Maybe she was drunk and, like you said, drunk and belligerent. I don't know. I do not know. But I literally just saw that right before I went live. So if I get any more information, I'll know. We know more about Salt Lake City. Right. We know more about them Salt Lake City, the Salt Wives, honey. Okay. Let me see what else. Before we get into that. Happy Founders Day to the brothers of Omega Psi Phi. You guys know I have an affinity for the brothers of Omega Psi Phi. Those are some of my best friends. Y'all know how I feel about the brothers. So happy Founders Day to you guys. All right. Dr. Heavenly Combs reveals that she was forced to address her son's legal troubles on camera. Kim, probably the same reason. Let me say this, you guys. And I know what some of y'all might feel differently, because I know when it comes to children, people feel differently when it comes to the kids. But let me be honest and tell you, right, can I pet that dog? But can I be honest and tell you that I'm not... Hey, Miss Toby. Hey, boo. Let me say this about about that. I understand that that's her child, and I understand that people might say, oh, those are her kids. Her kids aren't on the show. She doesn't even show her kids. Like, she goes out of her way not to show her kids, yada, yada, yada. But what I am going to say, for two reasons, I don't have a problem with this. Reason number one, because you are on a reality show, and this was a major situation that happened that, honestly, a YouTuber found out this information and brought it public. Like, Heavenly, you were perfectly okay with this staying private and none of us knowing this situation. And again, you have a right to feel that way. It's your child. You want to protect your child, by all means. I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad at you wanting to protect your child, right? But the flip side of that is you are on a reality show, which means you open yourself up to public scrutiny. Lord, scrutiny, not scrutiny. Public scrutiny. The other reason why I don't feel no kind of way about this, Heavenly, is because in an attempt to evade having to talk about your life, you didn't have no problem talking about anybody else's kids and anybody else's life. You didn't have any problem putting anybody else's situation right there on Front Street. You had no problem at all. None. You would have talked about, if this had been anybody else's son on this show, you would have had no problem bringing it up and talking about it ad nauseum this entire season. So y'all know what I always say. Fair exchange ain't never been no robbery. Because if this had been, especially if it had been one of Toya's kids, Simone's, if it had been Simone's son, my goodness. Can y'all imagine? And she lied. She did. All of her sons have been on the show. Both of her sons, and well, we know her daughter has, but all of her kids have been on the show. Now they've never been major parts of a storyline, but they've all been filmed. They've all been on the show. Unless it was Jackie. True. So, Heavenly, if you're looking for sympathy, you're not getting it this away. Sorry, not sorry. You're not getting it this away. Oh Lord, Ebby, your friend is live. Oh, they were live. Okay, I guess they're not live no more. Ebby's friend was live. Thank you, Latrice. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Unfortunately, it says that Kathy Hilton and Sutton Strack's homes were burglarized while they were at BravoCon. I am so confused I'm so confused at all these people's houses that have money, that have great security. Like, just because. Oh, congratulations. Somebody else just sent me an email saying they got their meal. Congratulations. I'm glad. I'm glad you got it. Oh, he yours. She would have been on YouTube. Oh, yes. Absolutely, she'd have been on YouTube, honey. Now, not only do they live in a gated community, they live in a gated neighborhood. Like, let's be clear. Where Sutton and well, not Sutton, because remember, Dorit called Sutton out for living on a public street. Remember, she did call Sutton out for that. But we know that Kathy Hilton lived behind the walls. We know she lives behind a fortress. And let's be clear, just because, I'm gonna use Kathy Hilton for example. Just because Kathy Hilton was at BravoCon does not mean that there weren't other people there. Like, she got a whole husband and a whole staff. I mean, she doesn't just have a cleaning lady that comes in on the first of the month. She has a staff. We have seen her staff. And she has a whole husband. It's so weird to me. Just because they were at BravoCon does not mean their house was empty. Now, Sutton maybe, because Sutton lives by herself, and I'm sure she has an assistant, but her assistant was probably at BravoCon, right? So, okay, I got it. Maybe. But Kathy Hilton. They also said that Shador Sanders was robbed while he was playing football on Sunday. I said, damn. Anyway. We say, don't worry, son gonna get to the bottom of it, just like she had that forensic accountant to comb through her financial statements. Baby. Baby. Honey. All right. I think. Let me see. All right, let's get into these some of the bigger stories. That this should be funny. I'm not doing this with y'all. All right, Tory Lanez was found. They found him and his attorney in contempt. Y'all know that Meg is suing YouTuber Milagros Grams, and Tory Lanez was called as a witness in the case, suing for defamation. And they said the first time that he was deposed, he acted a pure D ass. So Meg's attorneys had him brought in again for deposition earlier this month, where he acted a pure D ass again. And so a judge reviewed the they actually even had somebody sitting in on the deposition, and the judge agreed that yes, Tory Lanez showed his ass, and he was found in contempt. He was fined $20,000 for refusing to answer key questions in the defamation lawsuit. Um Megan Cuniff was in court today. The trial started today. The jury has been seated, and opening statements, I believe, started this afternoon. The trial, I believe, is taking place in Florida. I believe it's Florida. So this is just some of her tweets. The judge said that Milagros denies all allegations, any coordination with Peterson, that's Tory Lanez. She's a social media personality who reports on many topics in the hip hop community. She acknowledges questioning Pete's credibility, and she maintains that any public criticism stems from Miss Pete's own actions and statements, not from Mr. Cooper's conduct. Milagros' lawyer, Jeremy McLimit, mentioned one possible defense witness as Livingston Allen, who is DJ Academics. Jurors already will be seeing excerpts from his video deposition. Now, we saw clips from that video deposition. Do y'all remember some of those clips from DJ Academic's video deposition? Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back on Twitter. I've been really contemplating this and contemplating this and contemplating this, because I need to follow these tweets from Megan Cuniff, because she is boots on the ground. She is boots on the ground. And I really need to get these tweets in real time. I really need to be following these tweets and bringing them to y'all, because I think this is about to be real entertaining, this trial. And I really haven't gone back because, listen, me leaving Twitter was not a hard decision, only because I never really used it that much. I really didn't. And I am on Blue Sky, but I really haven't been on Blue Sky that much, because I didn't use Twitter that much. But when there's certain things that I want to see and those people are still on Twitter, because like even during the Diddy trial, the guy, what's his name? Free Press. What's the guy's name? Don. He would update his stuff on Blue Sky, but not as often as he did on Twitter. He did update on Blue Sky. Let me see. Is Megan on? Is Megan Cuniff? Is she's on Blue Sky, but I don't think she updates her Blue Sky as much as she updates her Twitter. Let me see if she on here. Let me see if she on Blue Sky. I don't even think she on here. Hold on. Am I spelling her name? I might not be spelling her name right. Hold on. Let me make sure I spelled her name right. Hold on. Megan. Hold on. Oh, I didn't spell her name right. Hold on. Let me see. It might help if I spell her name right. She updates both. Yeah, I know she's on here. M-E. Anyway, I'll check it tomorrow. But I definitely want to get her updates. Because, child, I definitely want to get her Meghao. Meghann. I'm not spelling her name right. Meghann. There she is. Yeah, she's on here. Yeah, but she updates, but she doesn't update Blue Sky as much as she updates. Or maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. Am I looking at it wrong then? Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Let me see. This is another reason why it was easy to get off of Twitter. Is because I don't even know how to follow the shit. The last thing I see on here is Tory Lanez and his lawyers have been held in contempt of court. Is that the last? Xavier, somebody that's on. Can y'all check on Blue Sky to see if I'm looking at this right? Is that her last tweet? I see her replies. So replies, media. Yeah, that's the last one. Y'all let me know if that's the last one I see. Okay. Inner City Press. That's it. Inner City Press. Yeah. Yeah, I knew he had special privileges, but I'm saying he updated. He did a good job of updating both. Okay, right. And that was 20 hours ago. Right. So she's been updating on Twitter and she hasn't been updating on Blue Sky because those tweets those messages that I just read y'all, that's from Twitter. When is the tribe's Thanksgiving live? Probably on Thanksgiving. Why are you asking me that, Tracy? She tweeted that she will post the rest on her site and that she may also do a YouTube live. She has she got a website? I didn't even realize she had a website. Oh, a Substack? Oh, shit. Okay. All right. But we're going to get the updates, y'all. But yeah. Because something else happened last week that I was like, damn, am I going to have to go back on the Twitter? Because it was something else that was on Twitter and I couldn't find it on Blue Sky. But anyway. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. But yeah, I think this trial is about to be very interesting. If they do end up calling, and they said it's a possible witness, so that doesn't mean she's going to call him. But the jury is going to see excerpts from his deposition, and we saw that deposition. Yeah, I like Substack. I do like Substack. Okay. All right. What time is it? Okay, y'all know I got to get off of here in about 30 minutes. Now, yesterday, or over the weekend, I should say, Offset said some crazy things as it relates to Cardi. Well, first of all, Cardi gave birth. Congratulations. We saw that Cardi gave birth to her daughter. She had a daughter or son. I can't remember. But congratulations to her. Now, Offset made some statements as it relates to Georgia law and whether that child could legally be his since him and Cardi were legally married when the baby was born. Okay, it's a boy. My bad. It's a boy. And I know that pissed a lot of people off. And I know that didn't make people feel good because we feel how we feel about Offset. But he's not telling no lies. We had that conversation when we confirmed that Cardi B was pregnant. We had the conversation about her being still being legally married to this man and having a baby by a whole nother man, and who has legal rights and what they have to do paternity wise, and yada 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 yada. Now, at the end of the day, Offset don't want to take care of 3 kids he got with Cardi. I damn sure don't think he want to add one that ain't even his. But they're still legally married. She gave birth. Now, I know that Cardi went live and said how that made him feel, and it made her, it got ugly this weekend. Let me just say that. It got ugly this weekend between the two of them. Well, today we find out that, because we know that basically Offset's been holding out. He wants the money. He's been holding out. They're legally separated, but they're still legally married. It just gets messy. It just gets messy. Now, today it was announced that Cardi B has agreed to a multi-million-dollar spousal support deal with Offset. They have a 70-30 split in order to finalize the divorce. So before y'all jump down my throat about what I just said, let me finish reading y'all this, okay? Okay. Cardi B has reportedly agreed to a multi-million-dollar spousal support deal with estranged husband Offset to finalize their divorce. The agreement includes a 70-30 alleged split of their assets, with Offset receiving the larger share. Offset alleges that Cardi walked out of their marriage and on him, left him with the children, and got pregnant by another man while they were still married. That reportedly is what influenced the terms of the divorce, or the settlement, I should say. So what this article is alleging is that part of the reason why Cardi settled the way she settled is because of the messiness with the pregnancy and her still being married and all of those things. Now, Kim said that can't be true. I don't know if it can't be true. I don't know if it is or it isn't. I just read y'all what it. Let me see. I'm just telling you what allegedly it was said. Let me see where I saw this from. Oh, I cut off the actual website where I got it from. I mean, if we ever get a copy of the actual law, the divorce decree, maybe we'll see it. I don't know. Abby says she don't think the article is accurate. Hold on, let me see if I can find something up more. Let me see. Cardi B divorce settlement. Let me see if I can find something else. Hold on. Let's see here. Let me see here. All I see here is where allegedly there was a $10 million offer, but Offset said that ain't true. Let me see here. Let me see, what website is this? Okay, I found this article, and it says that he wants a 70-30 split. It says here that Cardi has allegedly agreed to the agreement, according to a report. However, it's not verified. Since the initial reports as of November 2025, it was reported that Offset rejected a settlement offered by the rapper of $10 million, which he's saying was not true. Allegedly, he said, "I built her brand. I deserve half." I mean, it might be go back like the Tiana Taylor thing, where we read one thing and Tiana Taylor said that wasn't true. That ain't happened. That ain't how it went down. So I don't know. But this is another article that I found. Looks like it's a European blog, because in parentheses they keep putting euro next to the dollar amount. So he said the $10 million settlement wasn't true. I did see that. So basically he gets to cheat and play the victim. And when did she leave him with kids? Hold on. Tracy just sent me something, child. Hold on. Oh, Tracy, I can't. I can't. Thank you, but I can't look at that. I mean, I can't listen to that right now. The link. I know I saw that, but that's the Breakfast Club. They'll flag me. I can't. And I don't know where it is. Like, I would have to find the timestamp and all that, child. I ain't got time for all that right now. But this is from the Breakfast Club. It says Cardi B speaks out over Offset paternity claims. So y'all can go listen to it. Yeah, well, we know she didn't leave him with the children. We absolutely know that she has her kids. We know that. That we know to be true. But we're saying that's what he's alleging. The article said that he said she left him with the kids. And we know that child, listen. Offset is no victim. Let's be clear. Offset is no victim. Offset is no victim in any way, shape, or form in this scenario. Is he a victim? But it goes back to what we said before about doing things in decency and in order. That's it. Speaking of which, and I wasn't going to speak on this, but I'm going to speak on it. Let me put a pin in that. I'm going to come back to the decency and in order thing. But it just goes back to, you are still married. You can have a boyfriend date, girl, do you? But you didn't have to have a baby. Wait until the divorce is final. And that way it's clear. There are no blurred lines. There are no misunderstandings. There are no questions. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And I'm not judging Cardi, because again, she grown. But when you do things out of order, you leave the door open for this, for the blurred lines. That's all I'm saying. You know, people don't have to like the law when you do what you want and not getting your affairs in order. Don't get mad. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it that, I get it that we feel like, when I say we, I mean, generally speaking, we feel like Offset did Cardi dirty and cheated on her and did those things. And then she decided to go out and do her. I ain't saying Cardi didn't have every right to go out and do her. But what I am saying is, when you don't do things in order, when you don't do things in the right order, you leave the door open for interpretation and for blurred lines. And unfortunately, that is what happened in this situation, or that is what's happening in this situation. Granted, seems like there's infidelity, and I understand saying that, they were legally separated. They were. But she's still married. And she got pregnant. So the law says that the father of her child is her husband. That's what listen, y'all don't have to like what I'm saying, but that's what the law says. Now, I don't know about the law in the state of Georgia, which is, well, no, she lives in New Jersey. Child, I know in Maryland, because I had a friend go through this. A friend of mine went through this. I know in Maryland, if you get pregnant while you are married, your husband is the father. Unless a paternity test is done, your husband is the legal father of that child. Unless a paternity test is done. That happened to a friend of mine. She was dating a guy who didn't know if he did or didn't have a child, because the woman he was sleeping with was married. She went back to her husband and told him, it doesn't matter who the father is. I'm back with my husband now. My husband is the father. And they had a whole situation where eventually they did have to get a paternity test, and come to find out he was the father of that child. So, but the law said, and had he never wanted to know, had he been the kind of guy that was like, oh, okay, fine. You say he the father? Sure. He's the father of that child. Had he been that kind of person, he would have never had to have done anything financially or legally with that child, because that woman was still married. And the law said her husband was the father. That's how it goes, y'all. Y'all ain't gotta like the law. It just is what it is. Now, again, I know Offset lives in Georgia, and I think they lived in Georgia for part of their marriage. I don't know what Georgia law says. I don't know what New Jersey law says, which is where Cardi lives now. I know, but I do know what the state of Maryland said, because I went through that with a friend of mine here in Maryland. So again, don't know. But I'm just telling y'all. So when Offset was saying, hey, that's my child, because she's still married to me, that probably came from, well, I ain't going to say where it came from, child. Tracy said that's the law in all 50 states. Well, there you go. Boom. Thank you, Tracy. It's the law in all 50 states. No, if you get a paternity test, then you, but even then you still have to go through the court, and you have to get all of that changed. You have to get because let's say this, like in the case of my friend, the birth certificate had the other father's name on it. Well, the husband's name. So he had to go through, there was a whole legal situation. It was a whole legal situation. So I understand that people don't like Offset and they don't like what he's saying, but he ain't wrong in what he's saying, because they're still legally married. Now, the reality of the situation is, we know that he don't a bit more want to be responsible for that child than the man in the moon. He's saying it to get on Cardi, to get under her skin. He's saying it to bother her. You know what I mean? But he ain't lying. Because a married man can have a baby and it not be his wife's. Facts. That's true. That's true. If Steffon was there and signed the birth certificate, he the daddy. Depend on the state law, Ebby. It depends on what the law says. Like Quake said, we live in a very misogynistic society. If she is still legally married to now again, like I said, we know that Offset is not going to press the issue. We know he ain't taking her to court. We know he don't want to be the daddy. We know that. Let's be clear. But what I'm saying though is, and that's why you do things in decency and in order. According to the brother, she just had the baby last week. Or the week before. She literally just had the baby, because hell, we saw her 3 weeks ago and she was still pregnant, and now she not anymore. So she just had the baby. So anyway, I don't know if that report is true. I've seen it on 2 different websites, but one website could be reporting off the other website, so I don't know. With that being said, child, listen. I hope they were able to get this. I hope they're able to get it resolved, child. Abby. What up, boo? Hey, Happen. All right. Now, last but not least, child, let's get into Steffon Diggs has filed a count. Speaking of Steffon Diggs, he has filed a counter lawsuit. Y'all know that he was being sued by a stylist that accused him of assault and drugging him. So he has filed a lawsuit, a countersuit. So let me read y'all this, child. I'm not reading the lawsuit. I'm just reading the article, honey. But he has filed a counter lawsuit. Steffon Diggs is going after a social media star who accused him of drugging, sexually assaulting, and later conspiring to unalive him. he claims that the allegations are pure fiction. The lawsuit, which was was filed on October the 1st with the Patriots star wide out accusing would-be social media influencer Christopher Blake Griffin of concocting a lurid story about him stemming from an alleged incident at Steffon's Rockville, Maryland home in May 2023. Oh, I didn't know he had a house down here in Maryland. I knew he was from Montgomery County, but I didn't know he had a house down here. Anyway, Diggs says he, along with Griffin, and I used to work in Rockville. Anyway, he, along with Griffin and other influencers, hit up a local club after a charity basketball game in Washington, D.C., before later returning to Steffon's home. The receiver said he then went to his bedroom while his assistant asked Griffin to leave, capping a fairly mundane night. More than 2 years later, though, in the summer of 2025, Diggs says Griffin blasted out wildly false statements about not only the night of the game, but also an alleged violent incident days later that he claimed the football player orchestrated. Griffin said that Steffon drugged and assaulted him before conspiring to have him unalived to suppress his gay or bisexual secrets from becoming exposed. Diggs says that Griffin not only posted the nonsense allegations to his tens of thousands of followers, but also tagged the NFL and Patriots social media accounts, as well as Uggs, with whom Steffon has a sponsorship deal. Not Uggs. Not you done tagged Uggs, child. Lord. We reached out to Griffin's attorney, who said that Mr. Griffin is looking forward to showing the world in court that regardless of the fairy tale fabricated by Mr. Diggs' high-priced New York lawyers, he is the victim of Mr. Diggs' unwanted sexual advances and that his brother's violent attacks. Steffon is seeking damages and attorney's fees, and while he doesn't specify how much money he's seeking, you can bet it's a pretty penny. So they also posted in this article, there was some stuff happened on an elevator. There was an assault on an elevator. So they posted screenshots from the elevator. And then they also posted screenshots allegedly between Diggs and I don't know what these screenshots are supposed to be, child. But anyway, Steffon Diggs has, filed a countersuit, child. You work in Rockville? I used to work in Rockville, Sweet Pea. Matter of fact, I was supposed to be going to dinner tomorrow night with some friends, but I have a dental appointment tomorrow. I was supposed to be going to Coastal Flats tomorrow for dinner, but I don't think I'm gonna make it. By the time I leave my dental appointment, I don't think I'm gonna make it because that's that traffic, baby. That traffic. Ooh, baby, that traffic. That's one of the reasons why I stopped working in Rockville, because baby, that traffic is no joke. I did hear about Nicki Minaj speaking at the United Nations. Yes, I did. Legally, he would not be the father if the judge declared him legally separated, and Offset would know that. That could be the reason he posted and deleted that statement. Well, yeah, but has the judge made a decision about whether he's saying they were legally separated at the time? I don't know. All right. That was pretty much it, you guys. That was pretty much it. Child, I ain't entertaining her. I don't have time to entertain Nicki Minaj and her Donald Trump fantasies, child. I can't. I can't. She's giving me very Kanye West at this point. You just want attention. You're gonna say anything or do anything to get the attention. I can't. So for those who came in late, we have started ordering and delivering not me, but the baskets have started to be delivered. If you still want to make a donation to the Thanksgiving Basket Fund, my Cash App is still posted. It's pinned at the top, so you can either send it through Zelle, PayPal, or Cash App if you want to still donate. We are still taking donations because the baskets are a little more pricey than what we originally, I say we, me, child, me, originally budgeted. So again, nobody has to give more than what you've already given. I know you guys have definitely given, but if anybody wasn't able to give and thought you missed the boat, or if anybody wants to give more, you more than much you are welcome to do that. How much are they? Well, they're averaging, so we were looking at like the $25 specials that everybody was advertising. But by the time you add taxes and delivery fees and all that extra stuff, I said at the beginning, out of the 10 baskets that I've already ordered, the cheapest one was $28. The most expensive one was $50. The $50 one, I don't know why it was so much more. I would have to look and find out why it was so much more. But it was $50. But the cheapest one was $28. And like I was explaining at the beginning of the live, I've been going through Instacart, which has been the easiest thing. Because last night I was doing like Amazon Fresh, and not everybody has Amazon Fresh. And then I was looking at Walmart. So Instacart has been the easiest because I just plug in the address and it gives me the grocery stores that I can look at. But not all of the grocery stores have the same prices, obviously. So that's kind of where the fluctuation in prices have come in, because I have addresses from all over the United States, from California, Texas, North Carolina, Florida, South Carolina, the DC area, New York. I mean, I've been ordering baskets all over the place. So the prices vary. The prices vary based on that. So that's where that's coming from. I guess the average would be probably around $37, $38, $37 have been the average. So I love your hair. My mom wants me to do something different with my hair. I just love yours. Thank you, baby. This is old. I missed my hair appointment last week. I know I usually go to the hairdresser every 2 weeks, and I missed my hair appointment 2 weeks ago. So I'll be going this weekend. So we holding on for dear life, honey. We holding on. And my roots are coming in. Look, I need to get my roots done. But thank you. Not to ask too many questions. No, you're not asking too many questions. Kim, you probably missed it when we talked about it. So each basket has, we're gonna make sure each basket has a turkey. Each basket has, and it's those turkey breasts, like not the full turkey, but like those boneless turkey breasts that you can bake. So each basket has the turkey, a starch, a green vegetable, a starch, a dessert, bread, and we order in a case of water. So that's what each basket has. That's what each basket has. So, all right, you guys, meet me at 8:30-ish over on the Whether You Like It or Not panel. You guys know that we are going to be talking about last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. We're going to be on Scotty's channel tonight. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, boo. And like I said, I'm gonna try to order some more baskets before I go to bed tonight. But we have 10. Some have already been delivered. So yeah. So there's that. So I'm gonna try to order a few more before we go live in about 30 minutes. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.